bounce to the funk, take it, get bump, roll on, bounce to the funk, take it, get bump, roll on, bounce to the funk, take it, get bump, roll on, bounce to the funk, take it, get bump, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on, roll on. Bounce to the funk, take it, get bunk, roll on. Bounce to the funk, take it, get bunk, roll on. Bounce to the funk, take it, get bunk, roll on. Bounce to the funk, take it, get bunk, roll on. Roll on. Roll on, funk. Roll on, funk. Roll on, funk. Roll on, funk. Roll on, funk.
Danke, Paolo Stella.
Thank you, Power of Stella. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think those of you are awake now who stayed a little longer last night at the party. And having said that, welcome to Mercedes-Benz, welcome here to the Festhalle in Frankfurt. Now, this over here is the first world premiere we'd like to share with you here at the IAA, the new GLA. And with the latest addition to our product family at Mercedes, it's a little bit like with the royal baby of a different traditional family, the Windsors. Just as with Kate and William, it took a little longer at Mercedes as well, but we're now all the happier to present it to you, because this baby, just as well, doesn't only look great, it also has what it takes, the right family, if you want, in order to take over leadership tasks in future. Now, in 2011, here in Frankfurt, we presented our offensive in the compact car segment. The motto was, the pulse of a new generation. Now, 2 years later, my heartbeat moves up every time I see our sales figures for compact cars. With a plus of roughly 19%, Mercedes-Benz was not only in August the fastest growing premium brand, it also was over the course of the entire year. And this is not the last, thanks to the fans that demand our new compacts. Since the beginning of the year, we sold more than 60% more compacts than in the previous year. That corresponds to 90,000 vehicles. But all that without yet being present within this in the segment that is the greatest potential for growth, the compact SUV segment, that is. Experts expect the segment to grow by roughly 1 million units to approximately 2.6 million cars by the end of the decade. And I'm quite optimistic that Mercedes will be a driving force in this development. Because when it comes to SUVs and off-roaders, there's hardly any manufacturer that has as much experience as we do. We have the Unimog and the G-Class for sand deserts, mud pits, and steep slopes. We have the mountain boots among the SUVs. In addition, we have the GL ML and GLK, the right equipment that is for outdoor activities of any kind. And now we complement our existing product range with a new GLA. Now, of course, there are compact SUVs that are marketed like this. Reality, however, often rather looks like that. Now, where's the GLA positioned? No question about it, you cannot climb Mount Everest with it, but you also don't have to be afraid of lawn edges. If you want, it's like the trekking boot in the Mercedes-Benz portfolio. To me, it is the most sporty, compact SUV in the market, including all the traditional strengths that are so typical for Mercedes, ranging from quality to safety to comfort. It is clear, however, a car with the star has to earn the G in the name with robustness. The GLA manages to do that with its very targeted reinforced body structure, an off-road package that lives up to its name, and the new 4MATIC all-wheel drive. Basically, it is the system that you're already familiar with from the A45 AMG. It responds fast and is compact, while being 25% lighter than the systems of our direct competitors. At the same time, it can also put up with 450 Newton meters. In terms of engines, we have an even wider selection than with the federal election here in Germany, from the conservative 122 horsepower up to the revolutionary 360. All engines obviously comply with a very strict Euro 6 norm. And the fact that the GLA also sets a benchmark in terms of fuel efficiency is not the least due to the fact that it is best in class also in terms of aerodynamics. In the high-quality interior, there were two elements we focused on, sporty and functional design, that is. It starts with an elevated seating position and ends with the electric tailgate. In addition to that, the new GLA offers the very same modern safety equipment that all compact Mercedes have, including collision prevention assist, as well as intelligent connectivity features such as Command Online with new Mercedes apps and, of course, the Drive Kit Plus. Now, in terms of our future plans in the compact segment, you might wonder, let me tell you this much. The GLA may be our fourth model, but it will not be our last. Now, at the upper segment of the MB portfolio, we have some pretty cool news for you as well. And at the very top, obviously not just at Mercedes, there is the S-Class. We're very proud of that. All the more since many of you came to the same conclusion after some initial test driving. The new S-Class is truly the best automobile of the world. Now, let us convince you that it is also the most intelligent one. At the end of August, Mercedes-Benz, as the first manufacturer ever, proved that autonomous driving is possible, also outside of highways and blocked test tracks, in real traffic, that is.
Dass Fahrzeuge von Mercedes-Benz zunehmend selbstständig fahren können, ist für uns die konsequente Weiterentwicklung unserer Sicherheitssysteme. Und wir haben uns gefragt, was müssen wir eigentlich können, um auch abseits der Autobahn im ganz normalen Verkehr unterwegs zu sein, der ja dann deutlich komplizierter und vielfältiger ist. Und ich habe gesagt, lass es uns einfach ausprobieren.
And diverse. And I said, let's just try it out. Let's try it out on that very same track that Bertha Benz took 125 years ago, writing history. And let's just do the first that same track with the first long distance trip with a vehicle. So we said, okay, let's go the 100 kilometers from Mannheim to Pforzheim in just everyday flowing traffic as autonomously as possible. And the fact that it managed so well, in addition also with a vehicle that is not that far away from the series technology, is something that makes me very proud of my team. It is an exciting new chapter in the history of the automobile, one in which we drive without our hands touching the steering wheel, without even operating the accelerator or brake pedals, one in which individual mobility is even more seamless and safer than ever. For over 3 decades, Daimler Research has been working on the technical foundations for autonomous driving. In the beginning of 2012, a team of experts, Mercedes-Benz, put up a challenging task, one that no other manufacturer ever dared to solve: the first purely autonomous trip through the highly complex cross-country city traffic of the 21st century. That is a trip of over 100 kilometers, just right through an agglomeration. 50 kilometers over winding country roads, 53 kilometers through cities, suburbs, and villages, with hundreds of traffic lights, zebra crossings, roundabouts, intersections, and construction sites. The vehicle that started out on this pioneer trip is the S500 Intelligent Drive, the most intelligent S-Class of all time. In order for it to be able to completely detect its environment, the technology showpiece uses an expanded intelligent drive package that is based on current series technology. 8 radar systems and 3 cameras generate a wealth of information from the environment that then in real time is matched with a highly precise digital map. This pioneering trip follows the historic route that Bertha Benz took in 1888, at which point she wrote history with that. She used the Benz patent motor car in order to drive from Mannheim to Heidelberg and then on to Pforzheim, the first automobile cross-country drive of history and the starting point for the triumph of the carriage without a horse. Exactly 125 years later, Mercedes-Benz in summer of 2013 manages to achieve a new pioneering performance. The S500 Intelligent Drive manages the 103 kilometers autonomously as the first vehicle ever. It accelerates when there is no traffic and brakes if a pedestrian wants to cross the road. It also stops at traffic lights and zebra crossings and finds the right exit in a roundabout. It drives right through the turbulent city traffic of Mannheim and Heidelberg with trams and pedestrians and cyclists without the driver having to intervene just once. The S-Class reaches its destination, and Mercedes-Benz proves the fact that autonomous driving is possible today, not only on highways, on blocked sections, road sections, but also in modern road traffic. On the way to the fully automated driving for all, there are some obstacles that remain, but it remains a fact. Just as the cross-country drive that Bertha Benz took 125 years ago, this historic trip of the S500 intelligent drive is a breakthrough and the beginning onto a new era of individual mobility. Well, ladies and gentlemen, more than 100 years ago, especially Daimler was convinced it would be the lack in chauffeurs that would set a natural limit to the success of the automobile. I think he would be fascinated to see that this Mercedes-Benz has got the chauffeur built in. Now, in Hollywood movies, robots usually want to rule the world, intelligent machines, ranging from the Terminator in the 80s up to Transformers today. Let me make one thing clear. This S-Class is peace-loving through and through. We do not only want to reduce the impact of accidents, but prevent accidents right from the start. And that is why 20 years ago, we started to experiment as part of the Prometheus project with autonomous cars. A lot of aspects have become normal and automated and digitized: the steering, the shifting, the navigating, and the parking. But now we can also park autonomously in front of pedestrian crossings. This leads to some funny scenes. For instance, pedestrians signal the car to just move on, but our programmers didn't expect such polite pedestrians, and that's why the S-Class will remain standing. Obviously, that's something that needs to be reprogrammed and changed. That example also shows the other road users cannot even see from the outside that this is an S-Class that drives autonomously. This is not a moon car with 10 antennas on its roof. And that's very important because a Mercedes needs to combine breathtaking technology with just equally breathtaking design. And that is why this S500 intelligent drive uses sensors that are also available in the Series S-Class. But just a couple more. And this is how the car can just process the wealth of data from road traffic. It's like the car playing blitz chess all the time, but just in milliseconds and dozens of matches simultaneously. Because in city traffic, there are a lot more stakeholders involved than there are chessmen in a chess match. I believe you don't have to be a fan of science fiction in order to understand these are fascinating possibilities that result from that. For instance, just having the car park independently when you go to the movies and then also pick you up independently afterwards, or also mobility services like Car2Go that takes the smart to the customer whenever he or she needs it. And in all that, partially autonomous driving doesn't mean less freedom, but more. For instance, no more stress caused by traffic jams. And this already in the Series or standard version. Now, until Series vehicles can also drive autonomously outside of traffic jams, a lot remains to be done, but there is one thing that's clear today. The car and the computer are two inventions from Germany that together have the potential to reinvent mobility. But now we have a couple of more S-Class highlights for you, and these will be presented by my colleague Joachim Schmidt.
Ja, guten Morgen, meine Damen und Herren.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The S-Class from Stuttgart and the IAA in Frankfurt, those, to me, are two of the very great constants in the recent automotive history. Now, with the motto of this year's IAA, you could also say you cannot get more automotive. Now, in addition, with the Festhalle, we have one of the most beautiful showrooms in this world, and most possibly also one of the most visited ones as well. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for being our guests. We're happy to have you. Now, to me, that's just the perfect setting in order to today, just a quarter of a year after the world premiere of the S-Class in Hamburg, present you three further highlights from our flagship family. Three new types of S-Class that our customers in the course of the next few months will be able to find in the dealership showrooms as series models. And, ladies and gentlemen, you can also experience partially autonomous driving functions with every single one of them. A special highlight in the extended who is who of the 6th S-Class generation is this vehicle. That's the new S500 plug-in hybrid. The first ever series vehicle in the segment of classic luxury sedans that consumes 3 liters only. So, those are the facts. 3 liters consumption per 100 kilometers, 69 grams of CO2 emission per kilometer, and given a performance of more than 440 horsepower. This makes the S500 plug-in hybrid the most efficient luxury sedan of all times. Now, real car enthusiasts and technology fans already today speak of the most environmentally friendly, safest, and most comfortable and convenient way of enjoying modern luxury. Now, from my personal experience, I can tell you that with an e-motor featuring 109 horsepower, you are overpowered no matter where you drive. Now, all the more you can enjoy the impressive thrust on the road. Even without combustion engine, the e-motor guarantees fascinating driving pleasure. Virtually noiseless, locally emission-free, and with more than 3 kilometers of pure electric range. And what I like the best about it, this new S-Class can fuel up at every socket. Of course, our new plug-in hybrid also benefits from the well-known strengths of the new S-Class, being best in class in aerodynamics, for instance. This S-Class is a luxury automobile with the consumption of a small car. And this proves 2 things. First of all, the technical expertise and the know-how of Mercedes, and secondly, the fact that modern luxury is neither waste nor sacrifice. Ladies and gentlemen, aerodynamics and lightweight design are just 2 key words that bring me to our next newcomer. In the sales prospectus, it will be called S63 AMG. But of course, you can also go to your dealership and ask your dealer for the most dynamic S-Class of all times. And I can reassure you, your dealer will know what you're talking about. And he will show you this. Well, ladies and gentlemen, 100 kilograms lighter while being 41 horsepower stronger than the predecessor model. With a similarly optimized fighting weight, you'd probably want to come home from your summer vacation. Now, with the new S63 AMG, the fitness program really showed its results. During the sprint, it just takes off like a rocket during competitions, just as Usain Bolt. And in fast, winding roads, it just sits so nicely on the road that Nico and Lewis wouldn't get out anymore. And all the more with the environmental notion, that is by no means ignored. We have roughly 10 liters of consumption, but it has a performance-improved 5.5-liter V8 bi-turbo, so half a liter less than the predecessor. So we have performance, we have dynamics, and we have efficiency. Those are the three core elements that the AMG typical models stand for. In addition to the S63 specific ones, so we have the fourth branding characteristic, individuality. Also in this view, the S63 offers more than ever, so two different variants we have available with customized chassis versions. We have the long version S63 AMG 4MATIC with performance-oriented AMG all-wheel drive, as well as the X63 AMG with a short wheelbase and rear-wheel drive. Ladies and gentlemen, just as all other S-classes, the high-performance models of AMG are pure luxurious automobiles. Now, when searching for the very best solutions for our customers, this is a true asset because luxury has always been one of the most sustainable drivers for innovation. It was precisely its top-notch technology that made the S-Class the most sold luxury automobile in the world. So on a worldwide scale, we've sold 3.5 million vehicles of the predecessor model, and only very few products have been able to really sustain their leadership claim, just as the Mercedes-Benz S-Class has managed to do. Now, in the sixth generation, we again feature groundbreaking, top-notch technology in series, technologies that sooner or later will also provide for more safety, comfort, and efficiency in other vehicles. Now, the fantastic sales start of the new S-Class reflects the desire and demand for top-notch products. Up until today, we've received more than 30,000 orders, even though we haven't yet had the market launches in our main markets, the US and China yet. Now, due to the high demand in the new S-Class, we continued producing in all our plants during the summer months. Of course, that's something that our S-Class customers are very happy about, and also we are happy about in view of the annual report, because it is our goal to increase Mercedes sales figures to the new record level of more than 1.4 million passenger cars. And ladies and gentlemen, we're well on the way when it comes to that, because as of August, we were 9.3% above previous year's figures, and this was already a record year. Now, the new S-Class provides for an important impetus for our sales in two ways. We sell more of the S-Class, so more units, that is. And also, we are able to improve the Mercedes image in all markets, because the S-Class obviously is the image component of our entire range of products, and it will definitely have a positive influence on our entire fleet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why that's the case is shown here on stage. We have these three S-Class variants, and this is what makes our cars so desirable. They're intelligent, they're efficient, and they're dynamic. And this is then combined with presence and elegance, and every single variant stands for these values in its own way. As you will know, Mercedes-Benz, during the luxury offensive with an expanded S-Class portfolio, will feature 6 instead of 3 variants in future. And we also are aware of what our customers are looking for the most: a S-Class coupe, a real beau, a well-trained Prince Charming that embodies stylish sportiness par excellence. Now, I will now give you a first glance at the S-Class coupe concept. So, you can look forward to another very special S-Class, an automobile that I would describe in one sentence in the following way: it really stands for what we call modern luxury at Mercedes-Benz. That's what that incorporates. Thank you very much, and enjoy the show.
suit, duck, a cheery sportiness in its most sensual shape, duck, duck, duck. Perfect match of driving dynamics and comfort. For magic moments, magic body, magic sky control. The most elegant and beautiful S-Class ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you the most beautiful way to drive an S-Class, the S-Class Coupe concept car. Now, this car just gives you an initial impression of what the coupe enthusiasts among you can look forward to. Of course, we cannot tell you all the details of the series version, but you're in for a wow effect. Now, this new beauty will be available as of next year. Let me just sell this much at this point in time. Driving our large coupe is even better than its look. Now, when in spring of this year we presented the new S-Class, one of the daily newspapers wrote, "You don't have to be a fan of Mercedes in order to call this car a masterpiece." Now, I think we have some quite convincing arguments as to why the Mercedes fan club will grow further in future. We have the most intelligent S-Class, we have the strongest S-Class, and we have the possibly most beautiful S-Class, and of course we also have the most efficient S-Class. And also the smart fans among you are in for a surprise, because at the smart booth outside in the forum we'll show you what you can look forward to next year in terms of the Smart 4 Joy, because the Smart will be available for 4 passengers in future. If you then also take a closer look at the GLA, you know for a fact why we at Daimler are convinced of the following. The inventor has got its best time still ahead of himself. Now, the fact that our head of sales, Joachim Schmidt, will retire at the end of the year at the age of 65 is not due to the fact that these cars sell themselves. Even though the term retirement doesn't seem to be truly appropriate for someone who is also chairman of the supervisory board at the VfB Stuttgart Soccer Club, and those who followed the start of the season of that soccer club will know what I'm talking about. Now, Joachim Schmidt, or Jochen as we call him, has been working more than 30 years for Mercedes. He is succeeded by Oleg Kalenius, our preferred candidate. But now, Jochen, please come on stage. And the reason is, on behalf of the entire Mercedes family, we got a message for you, and that's a message that comes from the heart. Here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you and we will have a very successful IAA. Thank you so much.